Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spotlight episode number 4, our entertaining training show. For those of you who might not have seen the first 3 episodes or don't know me yet, my name is Hailey. Hi, I'm coming to you live from Vienna, Austria, and I am a part of the REMAX Europe business development team, and I'm also responsible for developing trainings for all of you guys out there. Our first 3 episodes have been really exciting, and it has been a pleasure to host them, and I'm really happy to be hosting episode number 4 as well. In this session, we are going to be hearing from top REMAX agents, team leaders, and even a business owner on how they have been using social media and video to grow their business. Because while I love to talk about social media and all of the great things it can do for your business, it's even better to hear it from your peers. So since we have a jam-packed show for you today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our very first guest speaker. His name is Toni, and he's from REMAX Spain, Urbe 2 to be exact, and he is a whiz when it comes to social media and creating really entertaining videos. To showcase his talents, he prepared a video for all of us, and I would love to share it with you guys, and let's see what Toni has to share for us.
Uy, hola, agentes de REMAX Europa. Bueno, muchas gracias, Hailey, por invitarme a esta fantástica serie que es el Spotlight. Es todo un honor. Para los que no me conocéis, hola, soy Toni Torregrosa, agente inmobiliario de REMAX Urbe 2, inmobiliaria en Valencia, España. Y estoy aquí para hablaros de los beneficios de las redes sociales. ¿Sabéis qué estaba haciendo ahora mismo? Necesito una empresa que me ayude con la reforma de mi casa. No encuentro a nadie, pero ahora buscando he encontrado un montón en Facebook, en LinkedIn, etc. Además, he podido ver trabajos que han hecho y también opiniones de clientes satisfechos. Todo esto está ahí. Cuando buscamos un profesional, tenemos toda la información al alcance de nuestra mano. ¿Por qué tú, como profesional inmobiliario, no estás ahí para que tus clientes te localicen? Hoy en día, si no estás en las redes sociales, no estás en el mercado. Hola y bienvenidos a mi página de Facebook. Esta es una de las muchas redes que uso para atraer clientes potenciales. ¿Qué más redes uso? Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Al final se trata de generar contenido de utilidad que llegue a nuestros clientes. Cada uno de nosotros tenemos un público objetivo diferente. Por eso, a través de Facebook tenemos una opción que es muy útil y se trata de promocionar. Si generamos un contenido para un cliente target que sea alto standing, podemos subirlo a Facebook y además promocionar ese contenido buscando un área de localización en la que queremos que se muestre ese contenido, el rango de edad, los intereses de ese público objetivo y sobre todo definir el presupuesto que usaremos para llegar a más o menos personas durante unos días en específico. Hacer promociones nos ayudará a potenciar nuestra visualización en redes sociales. Se trata de ser una cara conocida para nuestros posibles clientes. Podemos ser todo un referente en el sector si sabemos cómo zambullirnos en el océano de las redes sociales. Me piden que os dé un consejo para empezar a grabaros en vídeo y os voy a dar varios porque soy muy generoso. El primer consejo que os voy a dar es que cuando empecemos no siempre tenemos un presupuesto muy alto. No podemos hacer superproducciones de Hollywood, pero sí que tenemos un teléfono móvil y en este teléfono tenemos miles de aplicaciones de edición de vídeo. Simplemente os digo que grabéis cada mañana un pequeño vídeo hablando con vuestros clientes, contando una historia que habéis hecho, una anécdota, una venta, una operación. Hay miles de cosas que nos pasan al diario, ¿por qué no contarlas? Ya empezamos a generar negocio, es el momento de comprar una buena cámara, una cámara con la que podremos hacer vídeos de alta calidad y además hacer sobre las propiedades vídeo. Esto potenciará nuestro negocio. ¿Eres una persona tímida? ¿Te da vergüenza salir en vídeo? Pues tengo un reto para ti. ¿Veis lo que tengo delante? Es un espejo. Seguro que tienes uno en casa. Mi reto es que cada mañana te pongas frente a ese espejo y te hables a ti mismo mismo como si fuera un vídeo. Aprende a amarte, a asimilar tus virtudes y también tus defectos, a escuchar tu voz. Poco a poco hazlo y verás como cada vez te es menos difícil grabarte en vídeo. Si navegáis en mi perfil veréis que el vídeo es uno de los contenidos clave a mostrar a mis clientes. En ellos hay vídeos de tutoriales, vídeos en los que enseño palabras, pero si queréis un vídeo que os posicione rápido en vuestro mercado, mostrar vuestra ciudad. Uno de los vídeos más vistos que hice fue en el que mostraba mi ciudad natal. Enseñé las zonas de interés, monumentos, calles históricas y lo relaté en un vídeo de 4 minutos. Ese vídeo se compartió más de 300 veces y tuvo más de 30.000 visualizaciones en una población de 25.000 habitantes. Todo un éxito. Bueno, yo ya te he contado mis secretos, pero hay una cosa que no te he contado y es que todo esto depende de una persona y es de ti, de que te pongas las pilas y empieces a hacerlo ya. Déjate de excusas, las excusas se han acabado. Ahora hay que hacer las cosas, hay que ponerse en marcha en este nuevo proyecto que es tener visibilidad en las redes sociales. Haz un vídeo al día y no dejes de ser constante. Aprovecha el presente porque el presente es el futuro. Así que bueno, mucha suerte y nos vemos en redes sociales.
I hope you guys enjoyed Toni's video as much as I did. As you can tell, Toni is a very experienced video creator, and he has used his creativity to really go above and beyond when it comes to his video creation. However, I don't want you guys to get intimidated by looking at Toni's great videos, because as he said, all you need to do is just get started and film one video every morning until it becomes a routine. And I actually loved his tip about getting used to talking to yourself, because it's a little bit awkward for everybody in the beginning, by just talking to yourself in a mirror. I think that that's a great tip and one that I will definitely be using when anyone asks me, hey, I'm a little camera shy, how do I get started? So thank you so much, Toni, for creating that amazing video for all of our Spotlight viewers out there. For our next special guest, we are going to be inviting a REMAX speaker regular, I would have to say. His name is Jesse Peters, and he is a REMAX team leader from Canada. I had a chance to catch up with him a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us live today. He really, really wanted to, but today was the very first day that his kids are starting school again in person, and he's responsible for dropping them off. So I was able to catch up with him and ask him a little bit about how he uses video to grow his business. And so let's go and see what Jesse Peters has to share with us.
So my friends in REMAX Europe land, how you doing? I've got a question for you, and this is going to really the important thing here is, we've always talked about tactics and what you can do and what exercises you can do and skills and strategies. But I really think you don't have a true understanding till you have a mindset on how to utilize social, right? Like, you got to understand the value first before, creating the ad campaigns, right? You got to understand your why before you execute. And so what I'm going to share with you is kind of my mindset that I've been, honed in on the last few years, especially when people begin to ask me, realtors in the industry begin to ask me, hey, Jess, how do you determine what goes on your personal page and what should you put on a business page and how much should I be sharing about my own life versus real estate life and whatnot, because we know based on our experiences what we look at, what we get annoyed by, what we love, and how do we implement that when we come at it from a business standpoint. And so my thinking on this has evolved. And this is the analogy after kind of giving the run through with Hailey that we were both laughing and smiling about, and probably the most relatable one. So it's kind of laying the groundwork here for the mindset and the why social that I hope, and I'm pretty sure will unlock your mind and be like, I get it now. Now let's run with everything else that our friends within the REMAX Europe network have been sharing over the years, whether it's Hailey or Michael or any of the guest coaches. So this is what's up. So first question, do you know what the average length of a 30-minute sitcom is? Like how much of the show versus commercials? Have you ever thought about that? Well, here, let me answer that question for you. It's 22 minutes, okay? The average 30-minute show is 22 minutes long. And day in and day out, we usually have no issues watching a 30-minute show where we are entertained, engaged, laughing, and understand that, hey, there's going to be a business aspect to this. We know there's commercials. All right. So think about this. You want to break it down to the pie chart of that 30-minute show. 73%, we are being entertained in some form or fashion. 27% is business. And you can relate here. Am I making sense, Hailey, so far? Totally. I see you on the screen just like, that's right. So here's how I want you to think about it now. From that 73% of entertainment that we're seeing in our favorite shows, and I always love this little image that I randomly came across on Instagram, I think a few years back. It's The Office versus Friends. We all have our favorite characters, and I am born in the late 70s, and so these shows for me were like right in the prime 90s, early 2000s, where a lot of it was relatable. Right. And so if you take Friends or The Office, during those 73% that the show's on, you're laughing, you're crying, you're learning new things, you're disconnecting from everyday life. The characters are giving us smiles. We're getting to know the characters. You're getting to develop your favorite characters. And then you are keeping watching because you like these characters. You like where the story's going. They are building no and like with you. And so you have an opportunity to become relatable to them and vice versa. Now, on the other side of it, I'm going to just move the camera over here. On the other side of it, we got, what was that? 8 minutes of commercials. Funny, I still count on my fingers for math. 27%, so commercials. So what do we see? During commercial time, we're seeing products, we're seeing professions get showcased, we're being entertained and engaged through those commercials, whether it's a jingle, a laughing moment, whatever it is, brand building, right? And that is the opportunity that these brands have to build professional trust balanced in. So some of you may see where I'm going with this. Guess what, my friends? You are a show. That's right. People want to learn about you. They want to get to know you beyond the profession. They want to see what you like. They want to see what makes you laugh or cry, or they want to learn something from you. We're doing it everywhere else. So if you can begin to understand that the content you're creating is a show, right? That's where you begin to unlock how to socially sell. But you don't sell off the hop. You are building know and like through utilizing opportunities to share your world. Here is what's up. It's real estate time, okay? This is what you need to begin to thinking about and leveraging, okay? Sharing your profession, the insights, your listings, sharing your tips to help, community updates, real estate updates, buyer and seller testimonials, all of that allowing you to build professional trust. Because during your show, you're building know and like. And then in commercial time, hey, you like me? Here's what's up. Here's what I do for a living. And here's why I'm good at it. Or here's why I think I can provide value to you, right? And by doing this, you can still entertain them. Come on. Who's seen Hailey's reel so far? Okay, we've gotten to know and like Hailey. And then when she does her REMAX reels, there's building professional trust. Right? And she's entertaining us through the ways that social media is right now. Am I right or am I right, Hailey?
Hey? Well, at least that's the goal. I'm happy if
that's the goal.
That's
and
how
I
it's
know, It's working, right? And we all have these opportunities to do it as well. And when you begin to think of this, and I'm going to show it in a couple other slides, this is the mindset that really unlocked it for me, especially in the last few years, to be like, okay, I've been a realtor for a long time. People know I buy and sell, right? They know I'm a realtor. So my feed doesn't get flooded with real estate all the time. And guess what? I don't want it to be flooded. And people watching don't want it to be flooded all the time either. Think about it. If your favorite show was 73% commercials, you're not going to watch. So keep that in mind. So as you begin to look at here, the far left is my reels. The middle section is my feed. Okay. And the right side is my IG series. Okay. Starting on the right, that's the commercial breaks. That's what Jesse's selling, and I am in there. My partner Addison is in there. We're entertaining you. You want to dive in. We splash it in every once in a while, but it has its own special channel. The reels on the far left side, as you will see, and if you begin to dive in, has a personal vibe and a business side, right? But you also get to know how I deliver real estate with my twist and flair. And it only you'll figure out what I'm into and how I do it just by watching a few of these things, right? Now the feed, the middle column here, please start to keep in mind, because that's how we're being researched in so many ways. How do we socially sell? How do we socially connect? You have to think about your profile as your portfolio now. If someone's never met me before, and they've never seen stories before, or they're not in that world already where they're following me, they're going to check out your profile. Yep. You have 20 seconds, 10 seconds to build that know and like, or smile, or intrigue. Do you think it's building know, like, smile, and intrigue if it's all real estate solds? Or no, you're not, right? And this is something I've evolved to. So here are a few different ways with reels, because now you're like, hey, Jess, show us some tactics. And I try to stay on trend, on point, finding fun ways to relay a message. And this can be a whole other session. But if you start looking, let's start on the far left. Okay. I'm more than a mask and AirPods. Here we go.
Love those transitions.
See, simple. You got for me, I was like, oh, I'm going to bring a wardrobe in, and I want to show the different aspects of Jesse. I love golfing. I love hockey. I got real estate mode, right? My style's a little vibey, right? And it works, right? Now on the far right side, this is I will call it real estate entertainment, professional trust entertainment. And right on the on the image, when you see someone hired an agent who took blurry listing photos with their cell phone and posted them on MLS.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So that's how I feel, right? Quality, especially for someone else's property. And that's Michael Scott from The Office. So you would, if you read a little bit deeper, right, you're like, oh, he's an Office fan. And now if you look at my clothing, right, be authentic, right? Authentic, that's my sweatshirt. I'm wearing a personal brand hat of a hockey player in my city. You're seeing the layers of building know and like subtly, right? And now more real estate. Here's the last one. Catch the voting. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Right? Having a little fun, understanding how to use transitions. I like magic. I like smiling. And there's a little bit of a business side. But through all of those, you've learned about me, but you've also seen a professional twist to it. Key thing is that you need to be seen on social, straight up. And you can't just be seen when you have a new buyer or a new listing, okay? Can't just be seen, can't just be making phone calls to people when something's new. You got to always be in conversation. Utilize social to talk to people. How you doing? What's up? Engage. And when you do that consistently, you'll begin to develop an audience. And guess what? everyone has an audience. Okay. And so you need to showcase your sitcom. Okay. Now guess what? You're gonna start thinking this way, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Well, guess what? Everyone has the chapter 1, everyone has a pilot episode, everyone has a pilot season. Okay. If you went back to my first season, oh goodness, the characters there would have been pretty basic. The main character might have been a little bit robotic, but I'm a 10-year season and it just keeps going. And there's always new people, right? There's always new people, right? Like people discover us at different times in their lives, right? So you got to keep the seasons going. You got to keep creating shows. At least that's my experience. So drive yourself to constantly create. Be yourself. Now, people are going to be like, what's be yourself? Be yourself in that moment, okay? This was not Jesse 10 years ago. First of all, I couldn't grow a beard. Second of all, my camera comfort has evolved. The world's evolved. How I've grown as a human has evolved, okay? So don't try to be Jesse. Just get out there and be you. Your character will evolve. So there it is, my friends. Socially Sell. And if you ever have any questions, show me what you're doing. Hit me up on IG. Give me a follow. You need some inspirations. Don't be a copycat, but let me inspire you to create your own things. And I've got a lot, I've got more videos on my camera roll that haven't gone out, that has gone out. It's okay. You're going to do amazing. And you'll be surprised what opens up. So I hope that this conversation about you are your own show and you have the ability to direct it and showcase and put other people in spotlight helps unlock it a little bit so you can start diving into the action plans that have been laid out by so many awesome people that REMAX Europe has been brought in. I know it's Hailey, I know it's probably went a little bit longer, but thank you so much for having me on Spotlight here. I truly appreciate you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. What did you guys think of Jesse's session? I'm so grateful that he created some time so we could do a recorded version of his presentation. And what do you guys think of those reels? I am here on the chat, and I would love to see what you guys thought of some of the tips that Jesse was giving. That real idea where he said, you know, he just snapped his fingers and all of a sudden the property was sold. What do you guys think? Is that something that you might be willing to try? I think very cool. I even want to follow him, Melissa. Yeah, you should go do that. I wrote it before there in the chat there, but if you guys missed it, Jesse is all over Instagram. You can find him. He's at Mr. Social Savvy with 2 V's. If you follow him and just watch some of the content that he consistently produces, I'm sure that you will get inspired. I've been personally inspired by his content creation. And if you need some more ideas, I have also been posting a lot of reels, as Jesse was pointing out. So if you need even more ideas about simple, real ideas that you guys can use to just get started, you can also go ahead and check me out. And if you speak Spanish, you can also follow Toni. He was our first guest speaker who was speaking in Spanish. So even if you don't speak Spanish, I'm sure that going ahead and following him on Instagram and Facebook, you will get inspired as well. So moving right along, our next special guest here on Spotlight is coming to us from Israel. He was a little shy to do it live, so I went ahead and I caught up with him a few weeks ago to learn about his growth story. And a lot of his growth that he has seen, he's a broker owner, started off his career as an agent, and within the first year, he has seen a massive growth in his office, scaling his office to 22 agents already, and now he's one of the top 10 offices in Israel. So before I share too much, let's go ahead and see what Daniel from REMAX Israel has to share with us about his growth story.
So my name is George Daniel. I'm a franchise owner at REMAX Selected at Haifa, Israel. I am a franchise owner since October 2020, so it's less than 1 year. And already we're a top 10 agency.
That's amazing. That's really incredible. In under a year, you've managed to make the top 10 in all of Israel, and you have 22 agents already, right?
Yes. That's right.
That's really amazing. And you were telling me earlier that actually social media has played a big part in the growth of your office and in the success of your agents. Could you share with us a little bit about what role social media plays for you?
So almost all my agents came from social media, even if they're my friends and I know them from the past. We never talked about being an agent. I just uploaded a lot of videos where I looking for agents, and when they press the like button, and just talk to them. Hey, I saw you like my video. Maybe you want to join. Maybe you want to meet and talk about real estate. Maybe it suits you. So almost every agent I have today, all the 22, are from social media.
That's actually really interesting. I think that would be very interesting for a lot of broker owners who are maybe still not sure how they can use social media to grow their office. Do you have any tips for people who might be a little camera shy?
The best tip is just to do it and to do it simple. Don't try to do it mind-blowing. Just take the camera, just do it, just shoot the first video, upload it, and you're done. The first step, the hardest step is stairs. If you need to climb a lot of stairs, the hardest step is the first one. So just your first video just need to be like short about something, doesn't matter about what, just shoot it, upload it, just do it.
Yeah, and then don't delete it.
No, don't delete.
No, but I mean, I completely agree. I mean, if I look back at some of my first videos, I was awkward. I didn't want to look directly in the camera. I didn't know what to say. I had to shoot them, I think, 10 times before I finally got out the message that I was trying to put across. But for me, it's also, it's not something that came naturally to me either. And it's a really important skill set that I think all agents need to have if they want to succeed in today's market. You were sharing with me a story about when you had this aha moment, and it clicked that you're like, okay, I really need to use video. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, it was something about 2 years ago when I was looking for, I was an agent and I was looking for apartment for my client at other city, not in Haifa. And back then I had a good friend that now is my partner at the franchise. And back there he was an agent by his own. So, and he liked to shoot a lot of videos. And I never liked it. He was shooting a lot of videos, doing it, every day. And when I was at the other city with my client, we was looking for apartments for him. We met another agent from another city, from another agency, and he asked me, where are you from? And I said that I'm from Haifa. And he said, wow, you have one agent at Haifa. He's super cool and super
successful.
He's the best. It's like you look at him and I just look at his videos and I learn. And I'm like, he's not the best agent. I'm the best agent at Haifa. So what's the difference between us? The only difference is that he puts videos and he uploads the videos and I don't. So this is the only difference between us. So I said, okay, I will start to do videos too. And then when I started to shoot videos, simple, not something special, very simple videos, people start coming to me and say, wow, Daniel, you're a legend. I'm a fan of yours. You're something, and I'm like, I'm the same. I'm just doing videos and uploading. Nothing changed.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good point, though. And for all of you guys out there, if you don't start doing videos, agents around you are going to start, and then they're going to be getting more exposure. People are going to be going to them because they recognize them from their videos. What you were telling me before, it's like if you post a picture, you'll get a like, which is not bad. But if you create a video and you upload a video, people see your face moving, they hear your voice, they hear what you are like, and people want to know what the person's like if they're going to be letting them sell their biggest asset, their biggest financial asset. You want to go with someone you trust. It's much easier to trust someone who you've seen them, you see the type of work they do, you can hear them and see their facial expressions and all of this. Then it's much easier for people to make a decision to list their property with you.
I met a house owner and he was looking at me like strange. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, no, nothing's wrong. Wow. He said, I just feel like I know you.
Wow.
I feel like, I just feel like I know you. You're like a famous person. And I'm like, I just saw a lot of videos of you and now I see you and you're the same. Wow. So just do it. It's great. People will get to know you and it's free. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think that there's any reason why people shouldn't get started right away then. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience that you've had and the success that you've had with social media and video with all of us today. Thank you so much for your time. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Spotlight. So that was, we were coming to you from a recording, and I should have given you guys a little bit of warning. When I did that recording with Daniel, the quality was fantastic, and then Zoom compressed the video file, so the quality got down a little bit. So I apologize for the quality of that video, but the quality of the content was super top. So I hope that you guys still found a lot of value in that. And for our final guest of the show, we have someone coming to you live from Canada. Jana, would you mind sharing your camera? Hello, good morning.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Really happy to be here. Yes, I am based out of Hamilton, Ontario, about 45 minutes from Toronto.
Amazing. And actually, it's kind of funny how I found you. I actually found you because of social media. A lot of times when we are considering, top trainers, speakers, or best people that we want to highlight as best practices, the recommendations come from our regional staff or, from other events that we've attended. But in your case, I found you organically because of your social media. And so when I was thinking about the topic for this show, which is social media, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see if I can get Jana to share her expertise and insight and really give us some case studies in the power of social media and how you personally have used it to grow your business. So thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I think there's a very good theme going on right now with Spotlight and social media, which is, engagement, expressing your personality, and getting out there on video. So what I have is a little bit of a slideshow where I'm going to break down my interpretation of it. I think there's not a lot of resources out there for real estate and real estate agents specifically using social media. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how to elevate your social media. And I'm going to give you a few things that you can do today on your profile without even getting on camera. If you don't want to jump right into video right away, there's a couple tips and tricks that I'll give you today that don't involve getting on the video. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go here. Hello, everyone. Okay, so remove the video there. This should go 1 sec. All right, there we go. So hopefully you can see all of that.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Sorry, I like to also dance a lot, so you might kind of see me moving.
That's great. I love it.
Actually, how I started on social media was creating some of the first reels that I did were involving me dancing. And if I can give you any piece of advice, keep doing it. A lot of agents, even in my office, in my community, were sort of making fun of me for being that real estate agent who was dancing on Instagram. And they had said, like, I sell houses, I don't have time to dance, I'm not going to make any money from that. And so what I'm going to say to that is I'm going to show them the dollars.
Nice.
Oh, it's not letting me. There we go. Okay. So today's agenda, we're going to talk the dollars that I've made specifically off of Instagram. I haven't spent any money on Instagram myself. I do not use paid ads. So when I talk about the dollars of Instagram, these are the closed deals that I've received from cold referrals, people that I did not know who, like Hailey, found me on social media and trusted me enough with their asset, either with buying or selling. I'm going to talk about my story, specifically the 4 features of Instagram and how to utilize them. I'm going to talk about outward versus inward marketing. We're going to touch on reels, and we're going to talk about how I use the DMs and the comments to build relationships online, which eventually do get me those closed deals. And then I'm going to send you guys off with 5 content ideas that you can do today. And no, you don't have to dance. So why are we going onto Instagram? Well, I can't even remember how many people there are, but there are billions of people on Instagram right now that you can tap into for free. You don't have to door knock. You don't have to cold call. They're just waiting to be, like Jesse said, entertained on your show. So these are my numbers. This is just actually from 2020 alone. I've closed just over 5 million in sales. It equates to almost 4 million in euros. And you can see that actually a lot of them were from buyers. I did more transactions, about 3 million Canadian from just buyers alone, and then did about 2.3 on the selling side. These came, 50% of them were cold leads. So they were people who were following me, who I did not know, and eventually ended up either messaging me or I built that relationship with them and worked with them directly. But just under 40% actually also came from agents. So when we talk about social media tapping into clients, there's also this whole other sphere of it, which is other agents who can't necessarily serve these clients. Maybe they're an hour away from that location and they need to touch base with an agent. So it's a huge network to tap into to get not just clients, but also those agent referrals. What's your story? Okay, so hi, I'm Jana. I actually started in hospitality. I spent over 10 years working in restaurants. And with that, I used my tips and my salary from managing a restaurant to travel internationally. I taught English in Spain. I lived in Australia. I really was kind of focused on just jet setting across the world. And when I settled down only a couple years ago, I've been licensed for about 3 years. I started developing my identity online. And I love to tell people that I'm a millennial realtor. I love to say that I take a coaching and teaching approach. I'm a landlord and an investor. I create content and I live in the country. So one of the things I want to challenge everyone to do today at the end of the session, or even right now, if you're feeling inspired and you have a notepad beside you, is to write down 5 things about yourself. This is something that you should refer back to and should be constantly reflected in your social media. It's how people are going to get to know you. So I constantly, if you see these things that I've highlighted here, they are reflected directly on my Instagram. I'll post about living in the country. I'll post buying and selling tips, but from my perspective, and I'll post my vacations because I am passionate about travel. So you really want to form an identity. And the best way to do that is to start with your story. So write down 5 things about yourself and start reflecting them in your Instagram. Okay. All right, guys, there we go. So 4 features of IG. We've got your bio and your posts, your stories, your reels, and your IGTV. Each one of them can benefit you when you're using them the right way. So let's quickly talk about those. Your bio and your posts. Another thing that I want you guys to do today is look at your bio. If you do not have your location there, please add it. How can someone know that you're going to help them if they don't even know where you're located? And this works not only for clients, but for agents as well. So please put your location in your bio. It's really frustrating when I go to follow somebody and I'm like, where are you from? I can't figure this out. Like, are you somebody who I can pass people on to or not? Like Josie said, sometimes they're spending 10, 20 seconds on your profile when they don't know you and they're making that snap judgment about you. So putting that location in is key. Your posts. Treat this not just as Jessie said, as your sitcom, as your show, but also as your resume. If you want to get growth organically, you have to think about what is the first impression that you're going to make. These people don't know you. They don't know what you sound like or what your deals are like or how much business that you're really bringing in. And so the first step is to make sure those posts reflect your resume. But when I say that, I don't want you to focus just strictly on your solds. People don't care that much about that on social media. Yes, it shows credibility and that you can produce and you know how to buy and sell a house, but your resume needs to reflect more than that. It needs to reflect your expertise. How can you help me? So when I put down that I'm a landlord and I'm an investor, I'm specifically targeting those who are looking to increase their real estate portfolio. When I put in my bio that I love first-time home buyers, I'm targeting those buyers who are getting into the market. And it's strategic. One of the reasons why I love first-time home buyers isn't just because I love them and want to work with them. It's because I know that first-time home buyers will turn into first-time home sellers. And typically they're staying in that home anywhere from 3 to 8 years. So if I have a 5-year plan where I'm heavily targeting first-time home buyers with my tips and tricks on social media, they'll come around within 3 to 8 years and be my sellers. And that's how I'm going to grow a business that lasts. So check out your bio and your posts and make sure that they reflect your expertise and your leadership in the industry. Your stories. These disappear after 24 hours, so have a little fun with them. I kind of use them as like a behind the scenes, day-to-day update, what's going on with me today, because it'll disappear tomorrow. Some of the things that I do have nothing to do with buying and selling houses. Currently, I am having a baby and I am craving ice cream. So what I've been doing is posting different locations of the kinds of ice cream and what those flavors are. And it's just entertaining. Everybody likes ice cream. So they're following along my stories and I'm getting direct comments back, private messages saying, oh my God, was the chocolate peanut butter really good? And that's how I'm starting a conversation that's organic and has nothing to do with sales, but yet I'm building a relationship and it started with ice cream. So have fun with your stories, your reels. Love me my reels. Please start doing reels, as we've all been saying today. These can be really a mixture of both value and information, humor, and stunning properties. So make sure they're fun and engaging, short, so that you keep people's attention. And yeah, just get out there, start posting your reels. IGTV, IGTV to me is a little bit dead, but it has some purpose. So I like it for my listing videos. Typically those videos are about 3 to 4 minutes. I just post them on IGTV there. If somebody's interested in a property, they can watch the whole video. I'll put interviews, I'll put market updates if I do any, but really of the 4 things that I focus on, IGTV is kind of at the bottom. So I think, oh, this like skipped. Sorry guys, this went, there we go. So what I've kind of done today is I've broken up Instagram marketing into 2 categories, inward versus outward. And what I see a lot from real estate agents is outward marketing, but not a lot of inward marketing. So what am I talking about? Outward marketing is your traditional advertising. It's about your business. It's your solds, your coming soons. It's about the work that you're doing. I'm a realtor. These 3 examples here, they're just about your business. And while it's great to show some credibility here, it's not enough to get new followers. It's not interesting enough to keep people on your profile. Nobody goes onto Instagram and follows a real estate agent because they just want to see how many houses that they're buying and selling. So if your profile only consists of this, I'm going to say that it's less likely you're going to be able to convert leads through Instagram and get transactions from it. It's great to show that you know what you're doing, you know how to do your job. But this outward marketing sort of pushing out onto people, it's kind of almost like bragging. So it's not really enough to keep people on your profile. It's like, look how successful I am, I sold this house. That's great. Who cares? What you need, sorry, a little blunt guys today. I'm gonna take some of this coffee.
Okay, you're talking to a European network. I think
right?
people like things that are a bit direct.
Let's be direct. This stuff is boring. It's a newspaper ad. It's a bus ad. This has been done years and years previously, and we are coming into the 21st century, into the digital age, and people's attention spans are shorter. So they don't care that much about this house. Where I think you need to kind of step up your Instagram is inward marketing. So outward is kind of pushing your business onto people. Inward is how are we drawing people in? What is getting them engaged and interested in me? Why do they want to watch my TV show? What's my story? So these are ways that you can kind of bring your audience in without directly saying, hey, I'm a realtor, do you want to buy or sell a house? So I've got some examples here. All of these are actually just my personal life, and they're all on my profile. And they have something all in common. All of them were some of my top performing posts, and none of them had to do with how much I bought or sold. They had to do with my she shop. Please follow along. I am renovating a detached shop into an office. It's about 75% done. My vacation. When I posted that I'm taking a vacation, I think a lot of people are scared to say, I'm human and I need a break. But when you do things like this, others feel relatable. They feel that you're relatable. They can relate to you. Realtors are not the only hardworking people in the world, although I think we like to think we are. But when you have your followers who are also business owners, parents, they're exhausted and tired and they're hardworking as well. When they see that you've taken time off and you're posting about it, they can relate to you. And when people can relate to you, they start to trust you. And when people trust you, that's when they reach out to you with their business. So that's really the secret. My wedding, people like love. People love weddings. So I can see where that was a good performing post. So now we've got inward and outward marketing. I kind of have sneaky, subtle ways to combine the two so that my audience still feels and sees I'm a realtor without pushing my business on them. So I'm going to show you how I've brought them together. All three of these have my sign in it. They're all saying, hey, I buy and sell houses, but not saying, look at what I just sold, look at what I just bought. In fact, the bottom one there, that's Jamie and Scott. That was my top performing post of 2020. It was not a house. It wasn't me. It was Jamie and Scott. Why is that? Again, I think people saw this and said, look how happy they are. They are celebrating their house. I want to be like them. I want to be that happy in my new house. Jana helped them do that. She can help me look that happy. So it was really just about sort of this like inception psychology here. And yeah, people just really enjoy the celebration part. So make sure that you're not just pushing your own success, but the success of your clients, because that is indirectly your success as well. So it's a way to kind of fuse outward and inward marketing together. Reels. Love me the reels. So I do 3 categories of reels and I mix them up. I do value and information, and I specifically target first-time home buyers. I'll teach them about a down payment or 5 things to do the day you move in. I'll teach them about just a whole whack of things that can get them started into the housing market. And again, like I said, one of the reasons why I target these buyers is because I know that they're going to turn into sellers. So value and information, that's sort of the first category. Second one I do is the property tours. This is one that you don't have to be on camera if you want to start off filming a pretty house or an interesting house or one of your listings. This is something that can kind of get your feet wet and get you comfortable with creating reels without putting you in front of the camera. However, I think in order to be successful online on Instagram, you really do need to show your face. But start there if you're feeling nervous. If you don't have any listings, that's okay. What I started to do when I first was creating content is I actually would approach other people in my office and ask them if I could film their property, their house for sale that they had. It's a great way to get content and everybody wins. The seller gets exposure. The agent gets to go to their client and say, look what else I'm doing. I've got other people promoting your listing for us. I've got a whole team of people behind me working to get your house sold. And I get the exposure online, and that's how people can find me. And then the third one is the humor. I'm still getting, more comfortable at it. I don't know that I'm that funny yet, but I'm working on it, and it gets better and better. The one thing that I can tell you is when you first start creating the videos, you feel awkward, you feel uncomfortable. That's normal. What ends up happening though is not just the likes, but the comments and the direct messages and the sales from it. When I have somebody coming to me saying, you were so funny online and I knew that you were the right agent for the job, I wanted to work with you, it builds your confidence to just continue doing what you're doing. So like I said, when those agents were making fun of me for dancing on video on Instagram back in January of 2021, I didn't let it deter me from continuing to do it. You know, I achieved success showing my personality, doing things my way, and that's what you need to do yourself. It's your business. Do it your way, and the people that you were meant to work with will be attracted to that. It's my like words of wisdom. So I love this quote. Social media is about sociology and psychology more than technology. And I put this in here right now because after we talk about reels, a lot of people will say, well, I don't know how to make them. I'm not very tech savvy. You know, it's too complicated. It's not. It's really simple as long as you are approaching it with some fun and your personality and you have something to say. Even if the timing is off or the video is not as good of quality, you'll improve on the technology part. Focus on the sociology, the psychology, getting people to trust you online when you be yourself and show your expertise. That's what social media is about. It's not about technology. So here is my example of all this work that I've been telling you to do to get on Reels and post your stories and change your bio up. This is what happens. This is your reward. So I've got Catherine here, and she said, my name is Catherine, and my husband Vlad and I are looking to move into a larger home. We own a 2-bedroom house. We've been pre-approved for $750,000. I found your profile on Instagram, and would you be able to meet to discuss this further? Catherine and Vlad ended up having a listing at $650,000 that I helped them with, and then they moved to Hamilton and they ended up spending $900,000. So it totaled $1.5 million in sales without spending a dime on Instagram. 3 things that I do. The first thing that you guys need to do on your Instagram is respond to every comment, even if it's from agents and family. It shows that there's a person behind the profile. So just if somebody's engaging with your profile, engage back. The second step that you need to do is start going to other people's profiles and engaging with them. Don't just like it. If you have a thought about their post, if a client or a friend gets a new puppy and you think, that's a cute puppy, comment, that's a cute puppy. It sounds really simple, but just make sure that you're also putting yourself out there as much as people are putting themselves on your profile. And then the third thing that you can do is to start direct messaging people and chatting with them. Don't put your sales pitch in right away. They don't know you. They don't care. Just start having a conversation. Whenever somebody comments something on my profile, sometimes I'll send them a private message being like, thank you so much for that. What are you up to these days? You just want to start building relationships. It's the long game. You're in it for the long haul. These things will start to pay off. I started heavily doing my social media in January of 2021, and I saw a lot of success over spring and summer from both, like I said, cold leads, people who I didn't know, and agents. Content ideas. We're going to end with 6 things to inspire you to go out and start posting your reels and your stories. DIY reno, I mentioned my she shop. I actually have it saved on my story highlights. If you look at underneath my bio, my story highlights, I have the she shop there. So I'm constantly updating people. So again, they can follow along. It's almost like my own home reno show. So that's definitely something that you can do. If you're not working on a renovation, anything that DIY, if you're gardening and you change the flowers up in your house, post that. Buyer and seller tips, super straightforward. Put it in a reel or a post. I think we do this so much that we forget that some people have no idea how to sell a house. They've never sold a house before. They've never purchased a house before. They don't know the process. So you have an opportunity to break it down. You can get really simple. The first video that I ever did that went viral was just about how much money you need for a down payment, which is actually my idea down there, but just to kind of combine the two here, buyer and seller tips and the down payment. The first video that I did that went viral was how much money do you need for a house? And that had a lot of traction and resonation with people because I think they just didn't know. Maintaining a home, another thing people don't know, nobody taught us how to house. There is no manual. I am constantly still learning, especially being in a rural property. Pick an item in the house, a mechanical, for instance, like the furnace, the air conditioner, and talk about how long they last, what to do every year to maintain it. You can do this in a reel, quick little bites. You can put it in a longer post, or you can just do it in a story. Your property tours, super straightforward. Like I said, if you don't have a listing, reach out to colleagues, start building those agent referral relationships and your network, and get to the point where I'm at, in that agents will actually, when they have a listing that they think will match my content, they're texting me it. I had Kelsey, who works in Burlington. She had a listing, and Burlington's about 20 minutes from here. And she said, hey, Jana, I've got this great listing. Do you want to film it? So you can reach out to people. It's okay if you don't have any business right now that's directly yours. You've got a whole database of people who would love the opportunity to give their seller that exposure. And then lastly, going back to what's your story, who are you? One of the posts I did is I did not just 5 things about me, but I did 5 weird and unique things about me. So they were interesting, they were different, and they were showcasing my personality. Again, when people feel like they know you, then they feel like they trust you. And if they feel like they trust you, then they want to give you their asset, or they want to buy a house with you. It's like a Jedi mind trick here that we're going to do online. It goes back to my quote of sociology and psychology here. It's just building those relationships. That's how you're really going to benefit. And then that's how you're going to make money, which is what we're all here for. So, I mean, that's basically my breakdown of how I kind of utilize social media. I'm going to turn off my video now because we don't need that anymore. But yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, I'd be happy to take just, a couple minutes. I know we're a little bit late here, but if anyone has any questions, I'm sort of listening, reading the chat here. Going live on IG engages a lot of people, either is announced, scheduled, or randomly visiting a place. Yeah, definitely. You know what's funny is I need to kind of step up my live. I haven't utilized that yet. But I think an open house is a great opportunity to do that. If you're at a property, you can kind of give them a live action of what the property looks like, and also kind of describe the house and put your personality in there. When people can hear your tone and you talk about a house, it's a really great opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much, Jana. I'm sure that people typically what happens is some questions will come up within the next few hours or day after people have had a chance to let things sort of settle. So if that is you guys out there, you're like, I kind of have a question, but I'm not sure that I'm really ready to ask it. I'm sure Jana would be happy to start a conversation with you on Instagram. So you can, I know some of you guys were already asking what her Instagram name is or handle is. It's at Jana Ray Realtor, and we posted it in the chat, but I will post it here again for all of you if you missed it the first time. And yeah, I just want to thank you, Jana, so much for your time and for your insight. I think, even though I spend a lot of time hanging out on Instagram, even, I found so many things that I could also pull away from your presentation and the way that it was organized. It just makes sense. And I love the idea that it's like you're doing inward and outward marketing and throwing in a little Jedi mind tricks to really enable people to relate to you, because it's exactly like you said. If you're posting things that are valuable and relatable, people are going to feel comfortable to ask you real estate related questions. And there you have, the makings for a business relationship. So thank you so much for your time. And looking forward to seeing what ice cream flavor you try next.
It's an
And,
obsession, guys.
yeah, and to all of you guys out there, just give it a shot. Try posting your first video. If you don't feel comfortable, do like what Toni was saying before in the very first clip, and just speak to yourself in the mirror. It's probably going to feel a little funny and weird when you first start out, but the important thing, as Daniel said, is that you just get started. And like Jesse and Jana said, share your story. You can think of your Instagram profile or your Facebook profile as your resume, and people want to learn about you and the value and expertise that you can share with them. So thank you all so much for joining me on Spotlight again, and get out there and take some action. It's been a pleasure to host you here live from Vienna, and I'm looking forward to seeing and sharing in all of your success on social media. Have a great day and stay safe, everyone.